Keith Myers here again with another Bartitsu stick fighting lesson. And this one is to introduce another type of strike to kind of round out what we've done before, kind of give you another stick handling coordination drill, and maybe put a few things together. So, we're building up in complexity in these lessons, so I hope you've been following along. So, we have said before in previous lessons that most of these blows we do with the cane in this system are kind of a hit, and it's like I'm bouncing off. I'm not trying to slash through like a sword most of the time, because we've said before if I did this, at this point my arm is exposed to a quick strike from the opponent. Same way if I come too far forward, I've opened myself. So the strikes usually hit and retract, so I'm covering myself, or on the backhand line, hit and retract this way, hit and retract this way. So go over those lessons where we talked about those basic essential strikes, because that's how we normally strike in this system. But there are times when I may want to carry through with a big powerful strike to really knock the crap out of somebody. And this strike that carries through we'll call a thrash. And that's terminology used in the Doyle-Irish stick fighting system. But a thrash carries through, okay? The backhand thrash is the easiest one, because a backhand thrash will just naturally have the circular feature and come back to guard. So I'm exposed, but I'm not exposed very long because this comes back. So, and this comes right out of that warm-up drill we did where we spun like this, and I'm just turning that into a strike and letting the spin come around to guard again. So again, it's a strike, my hand's down for whatever reason, come all the way across and back to guard. All the way across and back to guard, right? Maybe I struck low, and then I do a thrash, boom, and I recover. I strike low at his leg, and I thrash, and I cover. But you're getting that weight at the end of the cane, that metal head going, so you've got that really strong swinging momentum, and you recover it this way. I'm not going to swing wide and then try to pull it back. I just let it flow through. So for whatever I've done, maybe I hit here and I come back up. It's that swinging motion this way is the backhand thrash. Boom. And then of course the forehand thrash will go the other direction. It's going to go across. But you can see now, here I'm exposed, so I could pull it back, but that's kind of a slow motion to come around. And I don't have that spinning quality quite to get it back what I did with the other one. So this one, we have to use, again, it's this side of that warm-up drill. Coming around, it's the thrash. Remember when we circled overhead? Backhand became the backhand thrash. Forehand became the forehand thrash. But so this one we have to recover a little differently. I'm going to do my thrash, big strong strike. It could be straight across, it could be 45 degrees. But now I'm going to do the spin this way to come back to guard. Okay? And if you watch my video on stick handling skills, that was one of the main, that turn like that was one of the main parts of the stick handling skills, right? And this is also, now this one's coming right out of that downward figure eight we talked about. Remember from that we derived these head cuts on this angle, right? And we derived the uppercut with this figure eight motion. So this downward figure eight motion is then my recovery. So I do my thrash, and then I do this downward figure eight to recover back to here. So here's this big strong strike, and I'm back. Strike, and I'm back. So I'm striking through, and I have to recover that swinging momentum that I've generated. I don't want to stop it and try to reverse it. That's too much effort. So I let it swing through and come back. So a forehand thrash, and you can see how I can just catch that momentum and swing through. And the backhand thrash. Boom. So this one you can see is a little more risky because it takes more effort to bring it back on guard. So I'm going to use that forehand thrash more sparingly than I might use a backhand thrash. Okay? Several things we can take out of that recovery motion. Remember, we try to apply a given motion in as many ways as possible. Fewer things to train, you just apply what you train in multiple ways. Right? Makes sense. This recovery motion, obviously, the first thing could have been the head cut. and it spins right back to guard. So that is a combination then. I do my thrash, and then it comes right around to the head cut, and I recover. Forehand thrash, head cut, recover. Forehand thrash, head cut, recover. And that momentum just went right into that strike, and then recovers back to position. Forehand thrash, head cut, recover. Forehand thrash, head cut, recover. Strike at the leg, swing through, recover. Strike at the leg, swing through, recover. Boom, back. Boom, back. Boom, back. Okay? I could make that a 3-count combination. Forehand thrash, head cut, backhand thrash. Forehand thrash, maybe he yanks his leg out of the way, so I hit him here and then I hit him again. That's 1, 2, 3 strikes. 1, 2, 3 strikes, right? 1, 2, 3 strikes. 1, 2, 3 strikes. 1, 2, 3 strikes. Okay? Another one is, again, if I have struck, I'm through here, and now something's coming at me, and I want to defend myself. We've already done the reverse block, the reverse head cover or reverse head block, cross guard, whatever you want to call it. So from here, this motion coming around as part of this drill, part of this recovery, can be, I do my thrash, and I yank it back to here, and I cover, and then from the cover, I do the backhand and recover. So it could be forehand thrash, cover myself, hit back and recover. Forehand thrash, cover myself, cut back and recover. So I struck at the guy, I overextended, now he's attacking me, I cover and come back. And that comes right out of the same motion, the same spinning motion. Forehand, recover, backhand, I'm here. Forehand, recover, backhand, I'm back. Forehand, I recover, backhand, and I'm back. And so a good exercise for this one, and to develop this cross guard, is just this circle, right? So this is another kind of stick handling coordination drill. I'm essentially doing backhand thrash, reverse guard. 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 Back and forth with this weight shift. Right? If I go from this direction, right, I got reverse guard, backhand thrash, reverse guard. So I'm here, right? The angle is such that something's coming. I do my reverse guard instead of a normal head guard. So I cover, and then my response is the backhand thrash. It's just a natural here, block, respond. Block, respond. Block, respond. Block, respond. And see that recovery motion to guard is the backhand thrash on the way to recovering my guard. So that's an important drill. So again, I put that together. A forehand thrash can swing around and hit again, or a forehand thrash can yank back into the reverse guard and swing through. So you see how it all starts to kind of fit together. Forehand, forehand thrash that spins. Because again, this, I got to catch the momentum and pull it back, and that may be too slow. So instead I thrash and I come back around this way. And then this momentum coming back around becomes reverse guard. Strike through, reverse guard, boom, boom. Strike through, reverse guard, boom, boom. So you can kind of start putting these things together and just seeing how they fit and they flow with these thrashes. Because the thrash, you have to catch that momentum. Okay? I can do a thrash high line, I can do a thrash low line. I think the backhand thrash is most useful. You'll find that showing up anytime your hand's on this side. You can just thrash through and recover. That might be, I'm doing something and the guy's guard is up. I'm just knocking his guard out of the way as I recover to my guard and get out of the way. Or it could be I'm just clearing the zone. I'm just defending myself, kind of clearing things that way until I get back to my guard again. Right, whatever I've done. That thrash can be a strike, it can just be a clearing motion, and I'm back. The forehand thrash comes in well on the low line, right? Because I can be here, and maybe the guy's got his leg extended out, so we've done something, maybe I blocked, there's been some action high, and then I step out, and here comes that forehand slash, or thrash, right? Boom! Right across, inside of his knee, his leg, his shin, right there on that bony part. And I want it to pull through because I want it to buckle his leg or knock his leg out from under him completely. So it's this big boom. See, I'm going to end up here because I swung through. And so the next motion is, you guessed it, that recovery action. Right? So if I'm coming at you, guy standing in front of me, his leg is exposed, and whatever we've done up here, I see that low line target. Here's that big smack to his shin that I swing through on purpose, and then he's right there, so now I'm turning back, and there's the thrash coming back. So I've got here, I step out, forehand thrash, and then I turn, backhand thrash back to guard. Step out at 45 degrees, forehand thrash across the leg, backhand thrash coming back. Right here, guy's in front of me, forehand thrash across this little shin, backhand thrash coming back to guard. Alright, so how many small drills is that I've given you now? Kind of lost track myself, but all based on spin this way, and recovering that momentum using the downward figure eight motion. Coming to here, boom, and coming back, various ways. So now, let's look at that basic defensive drill we did. Remember where you defend the area, and we struck back with a head cut, and I think I showed you the combination where we did head cut, uppercut. Well, now you can do we'll just make it simple, those three guards. I'm here, so I do body guard, head cut, thrash. I do the flank guard, head cut, thrash. I do the head guard, head cut, thrash. See, I can just make that one of my combinations. Bam, bam, whop. Boom, boom, whop. Head guard, boom, whop. Right? And I can work that in as a combination. The head guard to the backhand thrash and recover. So put that into those drills, okay? I could also have done now the forehand thrash. So now I've got the body guard, and as I pull back, here's my forehand thrash. And remember our recovery? I could just do the recovery, but we're making 2-point combinations, right? So body guard, forehand thrash to the head cut and recover. Flank guard to the forehand thrash, head cut and recover. Head guard to the forehand thrash to the head cut and recover. So again, bam, bam, boom, and I'm back. Bam, boom, and I'm back. Head guard, boom, and I'm back. So that becomes another combination then. Any of our defensive motions to the forehand thrash, swinging around to the head cut and back. Okay? So let's look at those, and then you kind of summarize those combinations. Remember, if you go back and watch the defensive video, we've got body guard, high or low for this side, flank guard, high or low for this side, head guard. And we've kind of left out the hand guard and the leg guard, but you can put those in yourself. And then from any one of those, after I blocked, I had the simple riposte was the head cut. That's number one, head cut, and then the first combination is boom, head cut, uppercut, head cut, uppercut, head cut, uppercut. Second combination, boom, head cut, backhand thrash, boom, head cut, backhand thrash, boom, head cut, backhand thrash. Third combination, boom, forehand thrash, head cut, boom, forehand thrash, head cut, boom, boom, forehand thrash, head cut. Now you could probably play with that and come up with other combinations of your own, but to try to get you thinking, remember the key thing with this system is you have this weight at the end. That's what you're trying to hit with. And you want to get that sucker swinging and get that momentum behind it to generate that much more power. Those spinning motions, boom, to hit with this. That's key. All right, hope that helps.